All right, peace, family. Peace, peace, peace. It's your brother Yosef, and I am back with another video. Hope everybody's been doing well. I've been doing good. Can't complain, family. Hope you guys have been doing well. And today, family, I want to do a quick video on a topic that I have been asked to go deeper in on and actually talk about it, which are Time Lords, okay? And I want to talk about Time Lords and time travel and just time in general, okay? And this has been a requested video, and I want to give you guys the information that I know about Time Lords. And Time Lords aren't really all that deep, but, people don't really understand what they are and how they work and how they operate in our universe. So I'm going to explain that to you guys. Studied these entities a long time ago, and I just haven't really done a video on them. But I've mentioned them before. So I'm just going to talk about the Time Lords in this video. Before I start the video, I want to, I have a lot of new subscribers. So I want to say welcome to New Life Tools. But also I want to say that a lot of you guys are looking for my website, that I took everything off my New Life Tools website and I moved it over to my tpministries.org website. Okay, so I want you guys to know that. The link will be below the description in my link tree. And you guys can go to tpministries.org to get my Dragon Magic class or my Mudra class or any of my products. Okay? If you have an issue finding it or purchasing it, just hit us up, Message us on the website and we'll take care of you. Okay? We'll take care of you, family. Also, I am going to bring back New Love Life, the spiritual dating website that I created back in 2020, actually. I think it was. I created New Love Life, and I'm going to relaunch that, family, so that, I feel like I'm more ready for it now. So I had TP Ministry I was building at the time, and I kind of got ahead of myself, right? So I'm going to be relaunching that, family. So you guys who are looking to date spiritual people, I saw a need for that in the community, so I created a spiritual dating website called New Love Life. I'm going to relaunch that, family. Okay, I'm going to be relaunching that. So, but anything you want to know about Brother Yosef, if you want to, I may do another New Life Tools in the future, but right now, everything is on tpministry.org. Okay? That's where it is. And for those of you who want to see me on pretty much a daily basis, drop videos, give information that I don't give on YouTube, you can follow me on Patreon, Brother Yosef, on Patreon. Okay? And that link will be below the description also. So, let's get into the video, family. I just want to talk about Time Lords, what they are, how they relate to you, and what's the importance of Time Lords, okay? So, let's start out first let me start by saying this, family. There are so many entities that we don't even know about in the universe. So many. And the true origin of a lot of these entities, a lot of people won't really understand, but we have titles. Right? We have titles for these entities, and that's all a Time Lord is. A Time Lord is a title that is given to a certain entity to do a specific thing. So what really is a Time Lord, right? A Time Lord is a demigod, right? And they're demigods based on not the fact that they're half gods, but they're given divine power. They're given divine power, right, to control a certain timeline in the omniverse. In the omniverse. And what do I mean by the omniverse? Well, first of all, let me explain what the multiverse is. The multiverse is all of the parallel universes that exist in our universe combined together is what you call the multiverse. Okay? That's the multiverse. That's all the possibilities in different universes. Like one universe, green may be stop and red may mean go in another universe. Okay? Something as slight as that could be a different. In another universe, you may be a different color, a different race, a different sex. Right? You may look just like you, but you may be have a different nature or a different attitude about yourself. That's what that is, family. Okay? That's what that is. So, the multiverse consists of all of the possibilities and all of the parallel universes that line up with our universe, that kind of reflect our universe and look just like our universe in some ways. Some of these parallel universes are ahead in time, and some of these parallel universes are backwards in time. Okay? So there's always a Time Lord to maintain the structure of time, even though time doesn't exist, and we're going to go into that, right? So that's what the multiverse is. The omniverse is all the parallel universes and every universe, which is unlimited, all together. We call that the omniverse. Even when you go into the quantum realm, which definitely has its own universe. All those universes, the universes you can't see and universes you do see, that's all called the omniverse. And you will pay attention to that term omniverse because you will hear it a lot more as we move forward into the world, the term omniverse. Okay? So that's what a Time Lord is. Once again, is nothing but a demigod that's granted a certain level of divine power, meaning godly power, that controls a certain timeline in the omniverse. One certain timeline in the omniverse, okay? Now, the Time Lords were created at the end of the first Yuga, right? Some people call it the Sata Yuga, right? They were created at the end of the Age of Perfection, which is the first Yuga, okay? And you can find this stuff in Indian mythology. So at the end of the first Yuga, they created these Time Lords in the Age of Perfection in order to keep the copies in order. And what do I mean by that? Well, the first Yuga of Perfection was perfect, and you didn't really need anything. So we signed a contract, family. Your soul is already perfect. You're already perfect. But what happened was you signed a contract to come down here to play a video game because none of this is real. You're only here to learn. And part of the contract you signed was to forget everything in every lifetime. Unless your soul reached a certain level, you can have a moment where you actually remembered, okay? Where memory was starting to come back to remember to put pieces back together. Depending on how advanced your soul was, you was granted a certain level of access to your past lives and your past memories, okay? So once you left the Age of Perfection, you signed a contract to come down here to know what it's like to not be perfect because your soul comes from an area of perfection. We can call that the overworld. We did a video on that already, okay? So I'm not going to go too deep into the overworld and what the overworld is. We did a video on that already. But that's where you come from. You come from an age of perfection or a level of perfection on down into an illusionary world, okay? To play this game that we call life. And I hope you guys start to understand that life is actually a game. I hope you guys start to actually see that. Life is the game, and once you learn that it's a game, then you start looking for the rules of the game and how to play the game. Okay? That's all it is, family. And a lot of it has to do with being controlled by your mind. Okay? By your mind. So, the Time Lords were created to keep the illusion running, right? To give us an illusion of time, that we had a certain amount of time down here. So what really is time? Time is nothing but constant moments of what do you call it? Constant moments of the present. Okay? The present that we scratch out into time. There's no such thing really as the future, and there really is no such thing as the past. But we have an illusion because we live in a game, there were moments in the present that were taken throughout time, right? Some people say every time you blink your eyes, your soul is recording. That's what some people say. Your eyes blink so that your soul can record these moments in time. So your soul is recording what's going on, but also the universe you live in is also controlling, right? And this is why you have the possibility of thinking about what you did yesterday. You can actually go back in your mind and remember what you did yesterday, right? Because you live in a place where there's an illusion of time, okay? So now when you go back and see what you did yesterday, you don't always see it how you did it, but you can see it. The question is, who is the person that's viewing it? Who is this person that is watching from this angle and seeing what you did yesterday? That's your higher consciousness. So as you speak, if you look at my video right now in the present, your higher consciousness is actually in a corner somewhere viewing yourself. We call that the great observer or the true observer, which is your higher self, is always viewing what you're doing and recording it with you. Okay? So you live in an illusion. And we know about the second yuga, the third yuga, and apparently people say we live in the last yuga or the Kali Yuga, they'll call it, right? And that's when everything's supposed to be destroyed because the world was caught up in so much sin, everything's supposed to be destroyed. But all these are illusions, okay? The goal is to get back to the perfected state. But as we evolve, let me say this first. We came down here, family, to work out our karma, to work out different things, to play a game so we can learn from the game. We're here to learn from this game, family. So I want you guys to understand as we grow and evolve, you know what I'm saying, we're always trying to get back to perfection. And that's why the multiverse exists, because every time you make a decision, you walk into a new area of the multiverse, right? There's a multiverse or a universe that already lines up with the decisions you made. If you have destructive thoughts and everything you do is destructive, well, there's a universe for you where your whole life can play out destructively, okay? If you have positive thoughts, there's a universe where your whole life can play out positively, okay? I want you guys to understand that, all right? That's how that works, family. That's how that works. There's a universe where all these things can play out for you, okay? So if you make the right decisions in your life, then you will go more towards a perfected state. So there really is no way you can lose the game. The only problem you have is some of y'all taking too long to get out of here. Taking too long to get out of here. That's the torturous hell state part, is that you can get caught down here and be stuck because you refuse to play the game. You constantly believe that this is real, okay? So the Time Lords only exist from the perspective of giving you the illusion that there's a such thing as time that we call the present. And every present moment is captured down here in this illusion like a game. And you can go back to a certain part of the game. You can go forward to a certain part of the game, right? And that's really just the present. You're dealing with constant present moments that were captured. So in time travel, and time travel does exist. The government can do time travel, whether people believe it or not. In time travel, where is this stuff being recorded and taking place? Well, it's being recorded on the fourth dimension. Okay? Same thing with the Akashic records are up in you actually have different Akashic records. You have Akashic records inside your soul, and you have Akashic records in the fourth dimension. And you can actually see your past lives. You can see, different oracles and who actually relate to the Time Lords very heavily. Different oracles and different psychics can actually tap into these Akashic records and tell you all about yourself and stuff like that. So time travel is very real, and you will, as we go, I always like to put the date on 2030, but as we get up to closer to 2030, throughout the years, as we go forward, you will start to hear them talk about time travel, and they will have some device in a future that will allow you to view moments in time, right? You will have maybe a capsule you can sit in, and it will take you to the signing of the Declaration of Independence or the time when Egypt fell. You can actually go back in time, which is safer. They want you to go back in time. They don't really want you going forward. But there's Time Lords that's allowing this and allowing you to capture these moments in time. And if you interfere with it, the Time Lords will approach you, and they will let you know. I remember Dr. Delbert Blair many years ago. It's hard to find this video too, but if anybody can find it, put it out there. But Dr. Blair talked about one time when he did a ritual, and he went forward in time and saw the future, and a Time Lord appeared. It's Dr. Blair. Brother Yosef wouldn't lie. Dr. Blair said a Time Lord appeared and told him that, he was going to lose days on his life because he wasn't supposed to see this. And I think he said he saw a place where melanated people were wealthy and everybody's living well, and we were like in a heavenly state somewhere in the far future. And the Time Lord appeared while he was there and said, "You're not supposed to be here. He was never supposed to be here." And this is what Dr. Blair said. He said they were going to cut time off his life because he saw something he wasn't supposed to see. That's how deep the occult can get. You can actually do things in the occult like that. Okay, you can time travel. But apparently Dr. Blair was on a whole nother level with it. You know what I'm saying? He was on a whole nother level with it. So there are consequences for viewing things and talking about things in time that you're not supposed to talk about, because you can change the whole world when there was already a timeline that was supposed to happen, but you took a rock back to your present time and it sent a ripple effect in the whole multiverse and it changed everything, right? Y'all saw that in a recent Spider-Man movie and all that, right? That stuff is very real. People ain't just making this stuff up, family. So you need a metaphysical mind to even understand what I'm saying and even agree with what I'm saying, because if you study metaphysics deep enough, then you know that there are entities that rule over time. And the term that people use is called Time Lords. Even in astrology, they have a thing called Time Lords in astrology. Okay? Dealing with the planets. So I want you guys to understand that. So as the Kali Yuga is supposed to be this thing where humanity left God, right? Because of so much sin. And really the sin they committed was they got into technology too deep. Technology became the God. See, there's a safe way you can grow with technology, But the elite that live in this world today, they want technology to be the new God. They want to separate themselves from nature. They want to terraform the earth that you live in. They want to terraform it. So they want to make technology God. And they want to terraform earth by merging earth with nanonite technology and terraforming earth to their will, so that planet earth becomes a slave to the new God. And now this new God can pull the energy from earth and become the new God of this realm, right? Which also will make that artificial intelligence the new Time Lord also of this, because you're creating a new timeline when you do that. Whenever you go against nature like that, you're creating a world that never existed. You're creating a new timeline. And then thus a new Time Lord comes forth, right? But the truth is, it was already predestined because it was a game. So somebody's allowing this to happen over and over. You shouldn't care too much. You should just care about your soul, right? You can't save your family. Help those that want help and want to grow with you. But besides that, you have to really understand this is a game. You can get hurt down here. You can feel pain. But your soul is just having an experience, family. So you must start to look at yourself as the soul. And this is really how I got past, because I talk about it all the time. At one time, Brother Yosef was very black power. Black power, black power. That's what I was, right? But when I started to look at people as souls from a soul level, right? Now my opinion is everybody has a soul. I'll say that as my opinion, right? But everybody doesn't have a full soul, the full construct of a soul. Okay. Now you do have people that have sold their souls on this planet and they gave their soul away. But I believe everyone has a soul, just in my own research and experience. But every race does not have the full access to a soul, meaning that there's facets of their soul missing. That's what it is. But when you start to look at people as souls, whether they have facets missing or not, then you start to understand that this person is not really a human. Nobody's really human here. This is all a game. You're a soul having an experience as a human. Okay? And it's important that we look at each other like that on a continuous basis, and that will help you grow. Stop looking at people from a color perspective and understand that all this is a game. The color game is part of the plan that the elite use to kind of control you and manipulate you and keep you angry, keep you mad. I'm a so-called black man. I don't consider myself black, but that's what people look at me. I'm a so-called black man in America. I consider myself indigenous, and I see what's going on. I'm not a fool. I live in New York State, so I see it all, right? But at the same time, fam, y'all gotta grow to the point where y'all understand that it's all a game, okay? It's all a game. So they're gonna merge their technology, family, in a way that's gonna terraform the planet. That's their goal, family. That's their goal, to terraform the planet so that you have to do their will. So that goes into what I'm going to say next about the great splitting of the planet, okay? Because we want to get back to the age of perfection, right? So this time, we're not going to keep going in the circles of the yugas. What's going to happen next is, family, we're going to take it to the next level, and we're going to spiral out of this thing, if that makes sense. So we're not going to go in a continuous cycle. The universe is going to split because they're going to create a new timeline, which they already have. And what's going to happen, family, is that they're going to continue to merge with technology. Everyone else will do it safely, but at the same time, we will go towards the fifth dimension. Okay, now there are higher beings and higher levels that do merge with technology in a safe way. But as you become spiritual in yourself, your body should not merge with technology. So what I'm saying is this: you can live in a world with technology. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But you yourself should not become a cyborg and merge with technology, an AI system. You should not do it. And, there's a term that says he causes all to receive the mark. He causes all to receive the mark. I did a video a long time ago called, I think I did a video back in 2019 called, is the Antichrist a real person or thing? And I explained in that video how the Antichrist is artificial intelligence. So AI is the Antichrist, and it is going to make you receive its mark in some kind of secret way. I believe it has a lot to do with this jabba dabba do, but it's a lot of other ways they can do that too. Okay, so that's what you don't want to do as you evolve, family. You don't want to merge with technology physically. So all this stuff Neuralink that old boy coming out with from Tesla, you shouldn't merge with that. You shouldn't put that in your head. But some people, they how they do. They use the stars to make sure it's cool. They'll put LeBron James got one in his head. Now everybody think it's safe. You shouldn't do it, because you will never be able to make it back to the overworld, just like the Anunnaki couldn't do it because you've merged with technology. And they had to create a whole new timeline just to come back and do it all over again. So they did all that for nothing. So that's what it is, family, okay? So the ones that evolve spiritually, we absorb this light. We think positive thoughts. We have an attitude of gratitude on a consistent basis. We grow, right? We grow, we evolve. Us who do those things will make it to the fifth dimension. We will evolve into the fifth dimension, into a whole new cycle. And in the fifth dimension, there is no time, right? You can still have time in some ways in the fourth dimension, but in the fifth dimension, there is no such thing as time. Like, there's no illusionary time up there, okay? So that's what we're trying to get to, and Dr. Blair talked about that too. Y'all know I love Dr. Dover Blair. Dr. Blair talked about that too, that the earth is going from the third dimension to the fifth dimension, right? And I believe right now we're in the beginning stage of the fourth dimension. And I've been telling y'all since 2020 that we're going to interface with extraterrestrials as we go into the fourth dimension. I've been saying that. I've been breaking down knowledge on my West name since last year, right? That we're going to interface with extraterrestrials. And I've been giving out groups on my Patreon and, stuff like that. So as we grow and evolve, I've been saying this for a long time. We hit the first stages of the fourth dimension. We're going to interface with extraterrestrials. I've been saying that, family. Been saying that for a long time. So you guys need to understand that and prepare yourselves. As we reach this state, family, some of us are going to evolve. We're going to go to the fifth dimension like Dr. Blair talked about. You can't stop the planet from doing that. The rest of people will be separated and they will stay in a lower version of the fourth dimension / third dimension, and they will be stuck here, where AI will be your God over everything. Okay? AI will be your God. All right? So that's what the Time Lords are, family. They're not really deep. They're not no special entities. They are simply entities that are given divine power to keep you in the illusion. They're demigods. They want to keep you in the illusion that time is real and you really live 80 years or you really live to be 100 years. No, you have time. You live in the present moment. And the present moment is all you have. And each present moment is documented and we stretch it out and call it time. But it's an illusion. It's only the present. There's no such thing as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We go with the flow because we live in this world and we have to operate down here, right? We have to operate down here. So we go with the flow. The truth is every day is Sunday. Every day is Sunday because the sun rises every day. Every day is Sunday. There's no such thing as the other days. There's really only one day of the week. But in order to play the illusion out, we live down here, we do it. If you really want that, if we work 5 days a week, but we got Tuesday and Friday off, we want to make sure we follow protocol so we can have Tuesday and Friday off. But the truth is, it's all the present. That's why it's important, like I warned y'all last year, as we go into 2020, you got to get your mind right. And I talked about practicing mindfulness and being in the present. Being in the present, family, is so important. It's so good to do that. Okay, so I just want to do this video on Time Lords. I hope you guys have an understanding of that now. Also, I talked about how we will start to interface with time travel. And I've been saying this for years, and I'm just glad a lot of the stuff is starting to come out now. Even with Google creating a time crystal and all this stuff, they're calling it matter, right? We talked about quantum computers in the past. All this stuff is going to help what I'm talking about come forth, and you guys are going to see it as we move forward. Right now, what's going on the planet, they're restructuring society to go with what's happening, because cryptocurrency really put a monkey wrench in what they was going to do. Right now, they're trying to regulate it to the point where they want to control it to a certain point. Okay, so that's what's happening right now, and they have to the whole world has changed because of the COVID. I don't even want to say that word, but because of the jabba dabba do, the whole world has changed. The whole world has changed to the point where, education has changed. The money system has changed. The way we buy food has changed. The way we interact with each other has changed. You know what I mean? So everything is changing, family. You have to adjust. You cannot be the same. You cannot have the same mindset as we move forward. You must adjust with the changes. You must change. The only thing constant in the universe is change. You must change with it, family. All right? It's Brother Yosef. I love y'all. Once again, if you guys want to see me more, because I know I'm not on YouTube as much as I am anymore. If you guys want to see me more, you can hit me up on my Patreon. And you want to purchase any of my products, you can go to and this is all for my new people. you can go to tpministry.org. Link will be below the descriptions. I love y'all. You guys have a good day. Peace, family.